Hey everybody, this is an astrology update, Chase Petiche astrology update. I just felt compelled to speak to this post full moon insanity, lunacy that just went down. I don't know if you're sensitive and you're empathic, then I'm sure you picked up on the intense energies of this last full moon. I don't know about you guys, but I just felt like totally crazy. I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night one night, screamed, was gonna run out my door, sleepwalking, naked. And then before I ran out, my dog puked everywhere and woke me up. So that's just one of the things, but yeah, I've been having this really it feels really, really chaotic inside of me. It just feels ungrounded. And even though I'm doing a bunch of practices to ground, I still kind of feel this right? And so I really was like, what the heck is all this about, right? Why is this energy? And I've talked to a lot of psychics and empaths, and everybody's kind of feeling similarly, this intense energy. And basically it occurred to me today, I was like, oh, it's this Uranus squared Saturn aspect. And that's what is, because, okay, so I'm going to talk about that. So, on December 24th, we had this perfect squaring of Uranus squared Saturn. And the reason why this is significant is because Saturn is the planet that rules Capricorn. Saturn is the planet that rules boundaries, limitations, structure, discipline, karma, right? It's what pushes us forward. It's also what restricts us if we're overly invested in it. It's very controlled. It's very controlling. And there has to be a very, very beautiful and exact kind of energy that you have with Saturn so that you know how to work with it, so that it's you don't have too much of it or you have too much, right? So that's the planet Saturn rules Capricorn. The energy of Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Aquarian energy, Uranus is the planet of shocking, new, innovative insight, intuition, revolution, exciting change, visionary energy, the future. So these two planets, so the reason why this is significant is because we just spent 2020 with all this insane energy, all of this plutonic Saturn, wherever Saturn is connected or conjunct to a planet, those energies merge. And so it's Saturn solidifies the energy of that planet. It really digs it in. 2020 was the year of Saturn conjunct Pluto. Pluto is the planet of death, annihilation, rebirth, restructuring, absolute change. And that's what happened in 2020, right? So that was all in Capricorn. Capricorn, the energy of Capricorn is old school, patriarchal, heteronormative, linear, controlled, overly rational energy, the energy that's been basically killing humanity and the planet, right? That got just scrubbed out in 2020. So we moved into the age of Aquarius. On December 21st was the true initiation of the age of Aquarius, with this grand conjunction that happened where Saturn and Jupiter had this incredible conjunction that was this giant star in the sky. You guys remember that, right? That ushered in the age of Aquarius. Of course, with astrology, things take time. They take time to really get their mojo going, right? To really start to feel the effects. So January, so we initiated this energy into the age of Aquarius, Aquarian energy being this new, innovative, futuristic, non-centralized, the abolishment of hierarchy, the initiation of individuation, this decentralized, individual kind of new revolutionary energy, which is really what is happening. It's what's freaking happening, right? Because we're all able to work from home, and so people don't have to live in cities, and they don't have to go into the office, and everything's changing, right? Everything's changing. It's changing massively, right? In so many ways, and it's affecting us all in all different kinds of ways, right? Not to mention that we haven't had a contact with other human beings for so long now, right? So the energy of January so much intense energy with the buildup, and there was a lot of revolutionary, rebellious, powerful energy that we were working through with a lot of Uranus energy has been activated. It's been going on because Uranus has been in Taurus, this very grounded, stable sign of money, sign of earth. Wherever Uranus goes, it literally is like an earthquake. It's like a volcano or an earthquake, and it's in the sign of Taurus. Those two energies do not vibe well with each other because Taurus is like steady. It's like, give me my hamburger and let me sit here and have my beer, and I just don't bother me. I'm going to eat slow and really enjoy this. And Uranus is like, no, man, like, here, take this, like, get this infusion of this futuristic, thing, and let's go in our Tesla and, go on the SpaceX rocket ship, you know what I mean? So those two energies, they're not really, they don't like each other. So it's an 8-year cycle. Uranus has been in Taurus. It's going to be in for 8 years. It's been in for 3.5 now. But there's all these retrogrades, so it keeps going back and forth. So anyway, January, we had all this Uranus intense activation with all these different aspects. That was the energy that we had with the storming of the Capitol and all this rebellion. There was a Mars-Uranus aspect, right? Mars is the planet of like intense assertiveness, right? Moving into February, right? That was January was like the final energy of everything moving out of Capricorn. 2020 was all Capricorn. And then in 2021, everything started moving into Aquarius. And in February was the deep, intense initiation of Aquarian energy. It was like everything was in Aquarius. I mean, that's when Elon Musk got, named the most richest man in the world, this person who is of the future, who is shaping the future. Cryptocurrency, hit this all-time high. So the space rover landed on Mars, and technology. What I was feeling as a psychic and empath was that I was so inundated with electrical currents of like my level of intuition, like skyrocketed. Like I had super psychic awareness of everything around me. And I was really connected to the technology. And it's becoming this it's weird. I feel this energy with technology that is emerging, that is becoming like, it's almost like it's taking over, it's kind of taking over in this new way. And there's this new currency, but it's also really exciting. Okay, backtrack. Okay. So we had this initiation of the Saturn squared Uranus on December 25th. That was the exact degrees of it. And so we're starting to really feel it now. And what happened with this full moon in the end of February was the culmination of this Aquarian energy that was just like this onslaught of Aquarian energy that really charged us. And if you're sensitive, you probably were really feeling it this month. It's like this mix of futurism, excitement, intuition, exhaustion, electricity, connection, bing, 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 bing. It's really like electric. It's an electric kind of energy. And this new kind of energy is getting squared, which means a square is, it's a tension aspect. It's kind of like this, it's not a harmonious aspect. It's not like fitting a piece into a puzzle. It's like the piece doesn't quite fit into the puzzle, but you're trying to force it in. You know what I mean? There's like tension. It doesn't quite fit. And so, the way that this has kind of been coming up, because I realized that the full moon really illuminated. The full moon is this illumination of our undercurrent, of what's been happening in the subconscious, of what's been happening in our emotional realm, right? And there's been a lot of processing that we've been having to do this last month. It's very, very, very intense. That's what the energies on the planet right now are up-leveling. The consciousness is up-leveling, but it's not an easy just bink, dink, dink, we're there, right? It's like we have Saturn up in this mix. Saturn squared Uranus is like, it's really trying to put some rules, some restrictions on this new innovative creative energy. And, what can really, really result is this kind of frustration. Like, you're trying to find the balance and structure and boundaries within a new, powerful, innovative electric current. And that's how I've been feeling. That's when I was like really going into this and researching and then thinking about it, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I've been feeling. I've been feeling this really new, excited, charged energy, but then it feels really chaotic. And what's really interesting and what I've been realizing, because I myself am somebody that's wild and free, and I pride myself on that, and I pride myself on being a wild woman, and I pride myself on my intuition and my psychic abilities. But I also have really come to terms with the fact that, we need structure, we need boundaries, we need limitation. And, but there's always this part of me that's like, I don't want to be caged, I don't want to be caged around anything. And, what I'm coming all the way back around to at like today, post full moon, is like, if we don't find ways of grounding this energy and kind of setting some sort of limitation rules, it's just going to be complete chaos. And I think that's what it's been feeling like for me, especially at the full moon. I've been feeling extremely chaotic, like, and so that's kind of what has been that's really what's been happening lately, is that we're working within the self, because it always comes back to ourselves, right? And like our own personal spiritual journey. And the astrology that I do is all about like the deep internal self. I mean, it's obviously the collective. Our deep internal selves is made up of the collective, but it's really about our own beings and how we're processing this energy. And because when the new year came around, I was really grounded, really. And I bet you guys were too. You probably were like, okay, 2020 is over, and I have, learned a lot, and I'm excited about what I'm, the new year, and I'm excited for these new habits and patterns and things that I've been cultivating and things that have been dying and that no longer serve me. Because really 2020 was a year of things dying and things no longer serving us, right? And releasing that. And so then we kind of came into 2021, and then we got charged with all this new Aquarian, Uranian energy that was just like, liberated energy that was liberated from the shackles of Capricorn. But then, we got this squared Saturn energy, this Uranus squared Saturn energy that's still it's trying to restrict, it's trying to hold back, it's trying to create some sort of boundaries, trying to create some sort of structure around this new energy. So this whole new up-leveled frequency that we have, it's a new level of frequency. And so the old structure is trying to put old structure limitations on the new frequency, and that's not going to work. That's the chaos that we're talking about here, and that's, I think, what I've been feeling is trying to put the old kind of boundaries on the new inner frequency isn't going to work. The boundaries, the structure has to itself innovate. There has to be a new kind of, it all has to grow together, right? And so this is really the challenge, and this is really the highlight of what this astrology update is really about. It's really just to speak to whatever it is that you may be going through, where if you feel chaotic, if you feel excited, if you feel new energy, but then you also feel like out of control, kind of like you're like, I don't know how to ground this. I don't know how to put this into form, kind of, right? Really sitting with the self, and getting really, really, really clear about, what were your intentions when you started this new year? What were the things that you were ready to grow into? And how can you create new cycles of discipline and order, and really, which is power. That's a kind of power. And to create, to uphold that visionary energy. Because really, it's the structure and the discipline and the rationality and all these Capricornian, Saturnian influences, they're really there to just be a container for the new innovative intuitive energy. You know, they're not there really to suppress. And if they are going to suppress, that's when it's like, get these shackles off of me, right? And I think that's a lot of the way that we've been approaching discipline, structure, boundaries, is like, it almost feels oppressive, right? Because you're like, but I have this new energy that I want to express, and you're just holding me back. And really, in this new era, the Saturnian influence is really meant to be an absolute support and to just make it a container so that there's just not complete chaos of this new energy, right? So that it can actually be put into form, so that it can actually be useful. And so that is really the energy, the way that I want you all to start approaching whatever kind of structures, whatever kind of boundaries, whatever kind of rules, you know, all of those words for me, they activate me, and I'm like, screw all that. I hate rules. I hate boundaries, right? Because I'm like a wild woman, and I've lived in a patriarchal culture, and I'm like, you know, all rules to me my whole life have been like, you know, sit down and don't talk, and, you know, and so I'm like, you know, screw you. I'm not going to do that. But now I'm coming to understand, and the truth is that energy, it's really kind of died. Like, that energy is not upheld in the same way anymore. And so there needs to be a reorientation of a new kind of energy within the self, and then the new paradigm, so that I can allow whatever powerful, innovative psychic attunement that is happening, up-leveling of my consciousness, but whatever boundaries, rules, discipline, you know, the word really is discipline. That's the word. Rules and limitations and boundaries, you know, discipline is really the word. What kind of discipline do we need in order to harness, cultivate, work with, conduct this new currency? So that's really the question I would have you ask yourself. And with this Uranus squared Saturn aspect that's going to be going on till 2022. So we have a while with this energy to really figure out how best Saturn can serve us, how Saturn can serve Uranus, how Saturn can help us materialize and conduct this powerful, innovative, futuristic, visionary, you know, exciting energy that is emerging. So I hope this helped. Yeah, this is just what needed to happen today, and I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, info@chasepetiche.com. All right, I love you all. I hope you have a good post full moon, and take it easy. Get some rest. Get grounded in yourself, in your body. Remember your intentions at the beginning of the year. Remember what you are becoming. Remember what died for you in 2020 and what is emerging for you in 2021. And recommit. Okay. I love y'all. Bye.